Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see about AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So these are all the topics we are going to cover in this video. First we will see what is AWS Elastic Beanstalk and how it works and why we need to use AWS Elastic Beanstalk and its use cases. Followed by that we will see the AWS Elastic Beanstalk features and its pricing. Now let's get started. So what is AWS Elastic Beanstalk? So AWS comprises over more than 200 plus services, each of which have an kind of a functionality, while the variety of services offers flexibility for how we want to manage our AWS infrastructure. Or sometimes it may be challenging to provision those infrastructures, right? So on those scenarios, AWS Elastic Beanstalk is a kind of an important service where we can quickly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud without having to learn about the infrastructure that run those applications. This Elastic Beanstalk, it will reduces the management complexity without restricting the choice or control. And also, we can simply upload our application and the Elastic Beanstalk will automatically handle the details of capacity provisioning, load balancing, scaling, and application health monitoring as well. And also, in addition to that, it also supports applications developed in Go language, Java, .NET, Node.js, PHP, Python, and Ruby as well. When we deploy our application, Elastic Beanstalk will build the selected supported platform version and provision one or more AWS resources, such as kind of an Amazon EC2 instances to run our application. And also to interact with Elastic Beanstalk, we can use Elastic Beanstalk console or the AWS command line interface or the EB high level CLI designed specifically for Elastic Beanstalk. Now you got a better understanding about what is AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Now let's see how it works. Here, this is a kind of it illustrates the sample workflow of Elastic Beanstalk. So here you can see, first we'll be creating an application and we will be uploading an application version in the form of an kind of a bundle, application source bundle. So for example, if my code is a kind of a Java, then I will be uploading a WAR file to the Elastic Beanstalk, and then I will provide some information about the application. And after that, with Elastic Beanstalk, what we'll be doing, I will be launching the environment. So that will be creating and configure the AWS resources that needed to run our code. And after the environment is launched, we can then manage our environment and even we can deploy the new application version as well. So if you are going to update the version, again, the same thing, it needs to go in a loop. So this is how the working structure of the Elastic Beanstalk. So after we create and deploy our application about the version, right, we can include metrics, event, and environment status from the CloudWatch to for the monitoring purpose as well. Now, why we need to use AWS Elastic Beanstalk? Right, you may ask like why we need to use specifically this specific services to deploy these related things. The first thing is just we need to upload and we can easily deploy the web application. No need to worry about the managing the infrastructure or provisioning the infrastructure. So those things will be not comes in place. And the second thing is we just need to write the code. No need to focus on the infrastructure. So those are all, it will be taken care by the AWS. Just we need to write the code so that our environment will be up and running. And then we can keep full control of the optimal resources for our application. And the last thing is like we can scale our application to handle the peaks in traffic. As I said, when we are going to configure the Elastic Beanstalk, right? So it will be asking for the auto scaling and load balancers. So all the things will be happening there. So from there, we can easily scale our application according to our traffic. Here you can see the AWS Elastic Beanstalk features. I said, actually, the AWS Elastic Beanstalk is the fastest way to get the web application up and running on AWS. We need to upload our application code, and the service will automatically handles the data such as resource provisioning, load balancing, auto scaling, and monitoring as well. And as I said at the starting itself, Elastic Beanstalk is ideal. Like if we are having a PHP, Java, Python, Ruby, Node.js, .NET, Go, or Docker web application. And this will be utilizing the core AWS services such as EC2 or Elastic Container Service or an AWS Autoscaling and Elastic Load Balancing to easily support the application so that it can serve to the million of users. So the first feature is the wide selection of application platform. So as I said, the application which we are going to upload it, right, we can written in many popular languages are available. This Elastic Beanstalk. So it requires no or minimal code changes to go from deployment from the development machine to the cloud. The second one is the variety of application deployment options. So what that means is we can deploy our code through AWS Management Console, or we can deploy the code through Elastic Beanstalk command line interface, or Visual Studio, or Eclipse. And also we can use a multiple deployment policy like all at once, or a rolling policy we can do, or rolling with an additional batch, or immutable, and even blue/green or deployment policy also we can use. So this kind of features, right, it will give the choice for the speed and the safety of deploying our application while reducing the administrative burden. And the third one is the monitoring, which is very important on any infrastructure related things. So this will provide a unified user interface to monitor and manage the health of our application. So in the monitoring, the first one is the application health. So Elastic Beanstalk will collect almost 40 plus key metrics and attributes to determine the health of our application. With the Elastic Beanstalk Health Dashboard, we can easily visualize the overall application health, and we can customize the application health check, health permission, and health reporting in a single UI. We can easily configure it. So followed by this video, I will be creating a video on how to create an AWS Elastic Beanstalk application. So stay tuned for that video. And in the same monitoring, we can use the logging and tracing also. So with the Amazon CloudWatch, we can easily configure the key performance metrics such as latency, CPU utilization, and response code as well. And from the CloudWatch alarms, we can easily get notified when metrics exceeds the chosen thresholds. And the next one is the updates and management. We can choose to automatically get the latest platform version of our Elastic Beanstalk environment, and also new patches using managed platform updates. Here there is a mechanism called immutable deployment mechanism, which will ensure the updates are implemented safely. So for example, for an ongoing management, we can even customize the application properties, and we can create an alarm, and we can enable the mail notification via Amazon SNS as well. And the next one is the scaling. Elastic Beanstalk uses Elastic Load Balancing and auto scaling to automatically scale our applications in and out based on the specific needs. And also we will be configuring multiple availability zone as well, so that we can give an option to improve the application reliability and availability. And the next one is the customization. As I said, we have the freedom to select the AWS resources such as EC2 instance type. Even we can choose spot instance also, right, that are optimal for our application. And we can retain full control over the AWS resources which is powering our application. If we decide to take over the sum of all the elements of our infrastructure, we can seamlessly get the management capabilities within the Elastic Beanstalk. And the next one is the compliance. So Elastic Beanstalk, it has the criteria for ISO, PCI, SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3 compliance, along with the criteria for HIPAA eligibility as well. So this means that application running on Elastic Beanstalk can process regulated financial data or protected health insurance as well, health information as well. And the last one is the AWS Graviton support. AWS Graviton ARM64 based processors deliver the best price performance for our cloud workloads running in Amazon EC2. So with AWS Graviton on Elastic Beanstalk, we can select EC2 instances type to meet optimization needs for our workloads, and we can benefit from the improved price performance over a comparable 86 based processor. So these are all the AWS Elastic Beanstalk features. Now let's see how much it costs. So as I said, in AWS there is no charge for Elastic Beanstalk, but we will be paying for the resources which we are storing and run our application, right? For example, EC2 instances. So for those things we need to pay for it, and there are no upfront commitment or the minimum fees. So just we will be paying like what kind of resources we are consuming. For those things we need to pay for it. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you get an understanding about AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Thanks for watching this video.